my name's Marissa and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing the 10 question stuck at home tag. If you're new to my channel, my name is Marissa, also known as Homemaking with Marissa on YouTube as well as on Instagram. I am a wife and mother to 3 boys ranging in age from 3 to 15 years old and post lifestyle videos here on YouTube. Typically, I share cooking, cleaning motivation, hacks, parenting tips, financial advice, and periodically I'll post a beauty video as well. I love doing these tag videos periodically because I think that it just gives people an opportunity to get to know me a little bit better, and I love watching other people do them, so I think that they're fun and something that's just a little bit different and keeps some variety going on my channel. This particular tag is all about being stuck at home because of quarantine, and I thought that it's a unique situation that we're in and everybody's dealing with it differently, and I thought that it would be fun to share my opinions and the different ways that I am handling being stuck at home. I do live in the state of Oregon. My state, as of yesterday, which was May 15th, opened up, they call it phase 1 of opening. So they've reopened restaurants to 25 or 50% capacity, I think. All the tables have to be 6 feet apart, and I think that all the employees have to wear a mask. I don't know, because I haven't gone to a restaurant and don't really plan to. It's not on my immediate list of things to do. Hair salons opened back up. They have a ton of regulations now. They have to spend 30 minutes sanitizing between every client, and they have to change their capes between every client. I think that those are the main things that have opened. I think that restaurants and hair salons are the 2 main businesses that were initially deemed non-essential that have reopened. But a lot of things are still shut down. A lot of stores are still shut down. Our mall opened, I think, but it was like 3 or 4 stores. It's none of the big box stores. It's just like a couple of cell phone kiosks and like a vision place. So for the most part in my state, things are still pretty locked down. The first question on this tag is, are you having any, sorry, I'm looking at my computer so that I can see the answers. Are you having any anxiety or stress from being inside so much? I am a complete introvert. I don't have to be around a bunch of people to feel happiness or feel like life is complete. I am far more of an indoor person than an outdoor person. So that component of it hasn't sparked any anxiety for me. I don't have an issue where I'm feeling cooped up. I have noticed a lot of areas of my house that I feel like could benefit from some home improvement projects. There's a lot of things that maybe just because I've been staring at things like my furniture and my wall color, and we ripped up all the carpet in our house during this and replaced it with hardwood floors, and my husband did all of that. I have a video showing how he did all of that. But actual anxiety or stress from being stuck at home, I haven't experienced. Number 2, have you been able to find supplies you need at your local stores? Yes and no. Toilet paper is still hard. I did just have a family member find toilet paper at Costco and picked me up a pack of that, so that's not something that's on my list of need to purchase items anymore. The new thing in my area is meat, which I think is a problem across the country, but it's a problem here where you can't really find a lot of meat options. There's a shortage of, it's hard to find flour here, it's hard to find yeast here. There's some dairy items that are limited, eggs were limited, It's been just kind of intermittent throughout the last couple of months, where there have been things that are sold out that have been hard to find for a period of time, and then it seems like disinfectant stuff, cleaning supplies are still really hard to find here. So there's nothing that I would say that we've like truly run out of, been in need of, and been unable to replace, but there has certainly been some shortages in my area. Number 3 is, have you ordered more things from online sources? Absolutely yes. I had an Amazon Prime membership before. I used it, but not as frequently as I have recently. Also, clothing is something that I have ordered online. I never did that before. I would never buy clothes online. Makeup items, normally I would just go into Sephora or Ulta and I would buy items. I've had to order those online because they've been closed. So definitely I've increased my online spending. Number 4, do you enjoy eating more meals at home versus eating out? We have done takeout a couple of different times during this, and eating out was an area in our budget. We were just talking about this today because the restaurants just opened yesterday. Eating out is an area in our budget that we used to spend quite a bit of money, and I don't know that we will go back to spending as much money eating out as we were prior to all of this. It's a lot of money. We've really noticed the increase in our budget by not eating out. So I don't have this overwhelming preference of like, I just don't like eating out or I love eating out. It's just really more of, I've noticed the cost associated with it in the last couple of months. Number 5 is, are you cooking more meals from recipes, or are you eating more frozen meals? I think that it's both for me. I am cooking more because we're not eating out as much, but I've really increased the amount of frozen type foods, because when this started, I was working from home with my kids. They did recently go back to, my mother-in-law watches them, and she doesn't have any other daycare kids, and she doesn't work outside the home. And I was no longer feeling like I could be a successful mother and employee with my kids being home 100% of the time. So we made the decision, now that things are starting to open back up, that they are going to go back to her house while I continue to work from home. When my kids were home with me while I was working, I was buying freezer meals. I have grocery hauls, and I've talked about this on grocery haul videos on my channel, that I was buying a lot of packaged frozen meals for the 2 days a week that I was working from home. When I would go to work prior to this distancing, my house wasn't getting messy throughout the day because my kids weren't home, they were at daycare, and I was at work. So when I had to transition to working from home and having them home, my house was a complete wreck at the end of the day. And the last thing that I wanted to do was figure out how to prepare a meal and to clean my house. So I really took advantage of packaged frozen meals for those 2 days a week. Number 6 is, after this is over, will you stock up on more items in case it happens again? Probably not. I have probably for the last 5 years been pretty minimalistic when it comes to supplies. My house isn't very big. I don't have a ton of storage, and I don't really foresee that changing much. And maybe it's because I haven't truly experienced shortages of things where I've been unable to buy a specific item and we've run out and been unable to replace it. Maybe that's why I'm taking this stance, and it would be different if I had truly experienced the inability to replace or purchase an item. But at this point, I don't plan on changing that and stocking up. Number 7, how has this crisis affected you and your family? The biggest change for my family has just been that we've not been able to spend time with outside family members like we would have prior to this. My husband has an essential job that he still is required to leave the house and go to work every day. So I do think that for him, the protocols have changed, and there's social distancing measures that have been put into effect at his place of employment, but we've not seen any interruption in compensation for either of us, and we haven't lost hours at this point anyway. I mean, who knows what the future holds, but at this point, as of today, we haven't lost hours or been furloughed or laid off or anything. So we haven't seen any financial impacts. The biggest thing is the social impact. So we are not able to we used to do big family gatherings, and we would have people to our house for dinner. We would go to other people's houses for dinner. My kids frequently would stay with grandparents' house throughout the month and would spend the night at multiple different grandparents' houses. So they've not been able to do that. So I would say socially that has been the biggest interruption in our lives. Number 8, do you go to the grocery store and get your groceries, or do you have a pickup service or have them delivered? The last time that I physically went into a grocery store and purchased groceries was the beginning of March. I did a 1-month grocery shop and I haven't gone back. I have either done Shipt, I've talked about them on my channel before, or I've done Instacart, or I've done Kroger Click List. So I have not physically gone into the grocery store and gone shopping for 2 months, which is not a huge difference from what I was doing before. I used Kroger Click List prior to this. The only thing that has really changed is Costco and Trader Joe's. I have not gone to either since this started. I went to Trader Joe's at the beginning of March. The last time I went to Costco was in February, and those were places that I would go 1 to 2 times a month prior to this. I haven't really needed anything from those places. I've been able to get the items from using Kroger Click List or get the items on Amazon. So at this point, I'd rather order the groceries online, and as long as that service is working, that's what I'm going to probably continue doing. Number 9, if you go to the store, are you concerned when people get too close to you? Well, I haven't gone to the store in 2 months, so I don't know. The only places that I have gone, we went to a nursery to buy some plants, but that's all outdoors. So, there weren't a lot of people there, and it was outside, so I wasn't super worried about that. I'm trying to think if I've been kind of a recluse. I haven't really been anywhere to know how I would feel. I probably wouldn't love it. I'm not like looking to give some stranger a high five in the aisles. I don't know that it would like cause concern if somebody was standing close. I don't really know. This is, I guess, why I've kind of avoided it, because I don't know how it's going to make me feel, and I try to avoid feeling any level of anxiousness or discomfort if it can be avoided. So that's just what I've been doing currently. I've just been staying home, and if we've needed something from the store, my husband's been going. He hasn't made any comments about being nervous or anxious, so I don't know. I have a pretty big bubble in any set of circumstances. I don't love when people that I don't know are standing close to me. So I assume it would probably be pretty on par with how I normally am. Number 10, do the people who live in your area take this crisis seriously, or do they act like it's business as usual? Well, again, I haven't really been out much, so I don't know. There's a lot of mixed opinions, I think, based on my Facebook feed, which is like the only way that I know what people's opinions are. I mean, I think that my state in general is taking it pretty seriously. We were one of the first states to shut down, and we're one of the later states to start to reopen. So I think that in general, the state has kind of required you to take it seriously. We don't have a requirement to wear masks. I think maybe some stores require you to. I mean, there's not like rioting in the streets where I live. There's, I don't know. I guess I'm probably not the best person to ask because I haven't really been out a whole lot. So I think that people have been fairly level-headed about it, and there's not really extreme swinging one direction or the other, at least in my immediate area. And that concludes the 10 question tag. If this is something that you would like to do, I'm just gonna leave it as an open collaboration. I would love to see how other people are handling this and what their opinions are and how they're dealing with things and some of the interruptions maybe that you've had in your life. I hope that all of you are staying happy and healthy through all of this. And if you haven't done so already, please feel free to subscribe to my channel by clicking on the red button below. Bye.